Hello everyone. Just give it a couple more minutes before we kick it off. Can still see a number of people joining. Okay, I think we can make a start. Thank you very much, everyone, for your time. Appreciate you joining the next iteration of the MBZIRC information series. Today with Program Manager Vina Hausen. She will quickly run through a quick presentation about Aspire, about the challenge, to give you a little bit of background, and then we will be opening for questions. So please use the chat function or the question and answer function on Zoom, and Vina will be taking your questions at the end. Vina, over to you.
Thank you, Tom. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, everyone attending this webinar from around the globe. I'm Vina Hausen, the Program Manager of MBZIRC Maritime Grand Challenge. I'm a part of Aspire that is driving the creation of transformative technologies. Today's agenda is as follows. We're going to have an introduction to Aspire and MBZIRC Maritime Grand Challenge. We will then talk about discussion forum that is meant to facilitate teaming activities. We will then take questions from the various teams. And lastly, we encourage the participants to go through the FAQs that we have already put up on our website. Before we look at what the MBZIRC has in store between now and 2023, I want to talk about Aspire. Aspire is an organization that exists to bridge the gap between the lab and the real world. Based in Abu Dhabi, we're the technology program management arm of the Advanced Technology Research Council, or ATRC in short. A part of ATRC, we are a sister organization of Technology Innovation Institute, TII in short, which is ATRC's applied research arm. Our role is to drive the creation of transformative technologies. Fundamentally, we focused on commissioning research that leads to pioneering advances, helping deliver new technologies with practical applications. We do this in a number of ways, from directing strategy to funding research, selecting partners, managing the development of research, and shaping the problem statements and international grant challenges to really drive the next great leap in tech evolution. At Aspire, we are here for the real world. We don't do research for the sake of research. We frame our research statements with clear benefits and practical commercial applications in mind. We work in close consultation with researchers, innovators, and cross-sector industry stakeholders from all levels of the local and international R&D ecosystem. We ensure that our research projects have a clear path to successful application. So it's a natural and logical part of our mission to sponsor and organize grant challenges at the highest level, which can translate quickly into IP and commercial success. As part of Aspire's mission to solve tomorrow's issues, our high-profile competitions and grand challenges reach out to engage innovators and talented research teams from around the globe. To us, they offer a unique way to approach problem solving, and maybe even to reach innovators we've never heard of until now. We're challenging them and you to develop groundbreaking solutions to some of the world's most pressing problems. X Prize Feed the Next Billion is the very first grand challenge sponsored by Aspire. By 2050, Earth's population will be 9.7 billion. Demand for high protein products is increasing. Impact of meat production is devastating the planet. This challenge seeks to address these conflicting trends. Feed the Next Billion competition was launched in December 2020 and will run for 4 years. It carries a total prize purse of $15 million. This competition incentivizes innovation in chicken breast and fish fillet alternatives. The goal is to replicate or outperform conventional chicken breast and fish fillet in access, environmental sustainability, animal welfare, nutrition and health, taste and texture. The rolling registration is open till 1st December 2021. If you know somebody whom you think would like to take part in this competition, please do spread the word for us. Let's start by looking at the big picture. Robots are everywhere, and autonomous systems are playing an increasingly important role across a huge range of sectors and applications. Meanwhile, they're getting more cost-effective as they become more powerful. So far, so good. But there's a tangible gap between what they can achieve here and now and the kind of capabilities we need as a society. Through the MBZIRC Maritime Grand Challenge, we at Aspire are looking to bridge this gap as part of our wider remit. We are seeking to push technological boundaries, enabling robots to work more autonomously in dynamic, unstructured environments while interacting and collaborating with us and with one another. The MBZIRC Maritime Grand Challenge, for those of you who don't know much about us, we'll start with a bit of a background. The Mohammed bin Zayed International Robotics Challenge aims to become one of the world's largest and most prestigious international robotics competitions. Established in 2017, it's held every 2 years in Abu Dhabi as a real-world challenge for universities, research centers, companies, and individual innovators from around the world. The aim of the challenge is to inspire the development of solutions in autonomous robotics. Our previous challenges have attracted teams from across Asia, Europe, North America, and the Middle East. Today, it's at the very forefront of exploration and experimentation as we set out to find novel technological successes that are resilient in a dynamic and unpredictable market. I'm now going to play a promo video for you.
From the Mohammed bin Zayed International Robotics Challenge, a new global grand challenge for 2023, as teams of pioneering innovators from around the world converge on the coast of Abu Dhabi, UAE, to take part in an ambitious robotics competition and compete for a prize purse of over $3 million. Welcome to the MBZIRC Maritime Grand Challenge. The MBZIRC Maritime Grand Challenge is a unique, real-world challenge intended to inspire the creation of groundbreaking solutions in autonomous robotics, focused on applications of heterogeneous swarms in the air and out at sea, stimulating ideas, encouraging collaboration, and pushing boundaries. This edition of MBZIRC is a system of systems challenge, bringing together diverse teams with skills in robotics, navigation, communications, and autonomous technologies to unleash their creativity together. In 2023, The Maritime Grand Challenge will focus on deploying autonomous robotic technologies to address the global problems of illegal fishing, piracy, smuggling, and coastline security. This highly complex, multi-layered task involves autonomous, unmanned aerial and surface vehicles working together in a GNSS-denied environment out at sea to detect an unfriendly vessel and offload goods from it in the shortest possible time. Making it happen will require a collaborative symphony of heterogeneous technologies and unmanned platforms backed by autonomous infrastructure. The MBZIRC Maritime Grand Challenge is organized over 3 distinct phases. A white paper phase, open to participants from across the globe until the end of December 2021. A simulation phase for shortlisted semi-finalists. And finally, a demonstration phase for 5 finalists who compete against the clock in a real-life scenario. To succeed, you'll need to create a vibrant ecosystem of partners to propel novel solutions with deep reasoning to counter real-world problems. Now, the call for participation is open. To register your interest and battle with the leading pioneers of autonomous robotics, visit us at mbzirc.com and let the Maritime Grand Challenge begin. Visit mbzirc.com for more details.
So just a heads up here, we recently made a decision to extend white paper submission deadline to 31st January 2022. And if you visit our website, you would see that these updated dates are already reflected. So I'm delighted to set out the details of our very next Global Grand Challenge, our 3rd edition. The MBZIRC Maritime Grand Challenge is a unique real-world competition designed to inspire the creation of groundbreaking solutions in autonomous robotics, in air and out at sea, stimulating ideas, encouraging collaboration, and pushing boundaries. Our total prize pot is $3.5 million and is designed not only to reward our 1st, 2nd, and 3rd place finishers, but all those who complete our simulation phase and advance to the final round. Our demonstration phase will share a fund of $500,000 that will be split equally between all the parties that will proceed to our final demonstration phase. Because we believe in teamwork, collaboration, and sharing the benefits of innovation, any teams that accept demonstration phase prize money will provide us at Aspire with non-exclusive, perpetual, and royalty-free access to the IP, including the right to sublicense it to 3rd parties. So the whole idea is we would like to commercialize the IPs as fast as possible. It would be a pity that novel innovations are made and nobody commercializes it. That is the whole reason why we would like to commercialize it as soon as possible. MBZIRC Maritime Grand Challenge teams will use a heterogeneous unmanned system comprising of 1 autonomous unmanned surface vehicle, a base station, which can be used as a base station with a manipulation arm, and a swarm of 5 to 20 unmanned aerial vehicles. UAVs may take off, land, and recharge on the USV. The USV base station and a manipulation arm will be provided to each team by Aspire. The UAVs are to be provided by each competing team. No other device or equipment is allowed beside the USV plus UAV swarm system. In terms of communication, the swarm of unmanned systems must work in a GNSS-denied environment, and no extra system communication is allowed apart from the video stream that goes from the UAV plus USV system to the operator to confirm the identified target vessel and to confirm the objects that need to be picked up in the intervention task. Now, coming to the challenge itself, this is how the final demonstration is going to work. At the start gate, the UAVs and USVs will be given an intelligence report that contains the details of the target vessel or target vessels. At the least, the intelligence report will have images of the target vessels, maybe partially blurred out images taken from a far distance, taken from multiple angles, along with additional information. But as of now, for white paper phase, the participants just need to assume that they'll be given a bunch of pictures to identify the target vessels. This intelligence will be given to the participants before the start of the final demonstration. The UAV plus USV swarm will be launched from the start gate at the start of the timer. They will have to survey the sea, about 10 square kilometer area, to find the target vessel. Once a target vessel is found, the UAV plus USV system will have to activate a video stream that will be sent to the operator. The video stream should clearly mark the identified target vessel, along with the Boolean for the operator to say yes or no, to either confirm that the target vessel is correctly identified or to deny that the target vessel is not correctly identified. If the target vessel is not correctly identified, the team will get a penalty, time penalty. But if it is, and then they have to continue looking for the target vessel. If the target vessel is correctly identified, the operator is going to say yes to the identified vessel, and the UAV plus USV swarm has to continue to look for objects to be picked up from the target vessel. So there will be 2 objects to be picked up in the intervention task. The first one has to be a small object, and it's going to be in this order. The first one will be a small object up to 1 kilogram weight. This small object has to be picked up either by one UAV or a swarm of UAVs. They collaborate with each other, attach themselves to this object, pick it up from, I'll just take a step back. So once a target vessel is confirmed by the operator, the video stream continues, and this video stream should have the small and the large object identified and marked clearly, coupled with a Boolean for the operator to say yes or no for intervention task. First, a small object needs to be identified and sent in the video stream to the operator. Once the operator says yes to the small object that's part of the video stream, the UAV plus USV system will proceed to the intervention task. So basically, the UAVs have to collaborate with each other, pick up the small object from the vessel and put it on the USV deck. The video stream will have to continue to identify the larger object to be picked up from the target vessel. Along with a Boolean, the operator is going to either confirm or deny the larger object that is detected for intervention task. Once the operator confirms, the UAVs have to collaborate with each other, attach themselves to this larger object and move it from one part on the target vessel to another part that is closer to the USV. So this activity has to be performed by a collaboration between various UAVs. And once this object is placed at a point that is most convenient for the robotic arm mounted on the USV to pick up, the robotic arm mounted on the USV has to reach into the target vessel and pick up this object and put it on the USV deck. So the moment the second heavier object, which can be up to 10 kilograms of weight, is picked up from the target vessel and placed on the USV, the timer stops. The entire demonstration activity as of now should happen in a maximum of 50 minutes of time. Whichever team succeeds in doing the entire task under 50 minutes, or whichever team succeeds to do it in fastest time, which is less than 50 minutes, is going to be the winner. Now, Aspire is going to fund up to $50,000 per team that goes from that will proceed to the final demonstration phase. And this $50,000 can be used either to design a robotic arm from scratch, one arm or multiple arms, how many ever numbers you need, or to buy a robotic arm from the list of commercially off-the-shelf available robotic arms, and to improve it further so that it can be used in this challenge, and for the mounting platform on which the robotic arm has to be mounted. Yeah, so I hope I was clear in this particular part. Now, the way we are conducting this challenge is in 3 phases. The first phase is the white paper phase. I apologize for not updating the dates here. We have recently made a decision to extend the white paper submission deadline till 31st January 2022. So the first phase is the white paper submission phase. Once we receive your white paper, they're going to be graded by our panel of judges. Up to 20 teams, up to 20 either teams or individuals who qualify or who score the maximum in the white paper judging phase will go to our simulation phase. And for simulation, we are going to provide a simulation environment that will be available in open source. The details of the simulation environment should be available before the start of simulation and simulation phase. And at the end of the simulation judging phase, we are going to select up to 5 teams to proceed to the final demonstration. So each team that agrees to go to the final demonstration phase is going to receive a prize money of So all the teams that agree to proceed to the final demonstration phase, maximum up to 5 teams, are going to split $500,000 among themselves. That is the prize money. Additionally, they're going to get a USV from Aspire, loaned for the duration of the development and demonstration, and up to $50,000 funding for robotic arm and its mounting. So we now welcome applications from teams around the world, and that means any team with skills, resources, and knowledge to participate and succeed. We're particularly interested in hearing from universities, research centers, innovative businesses, and pioneering individuals. It's possible that many individual institutions or organizations may lack all of the necessary skills in one place. So we are actively encouraging the formation of collaborative partnerships that bring talents and technologies together. In the meantime, my colleagues at Aspire will be sharing information and facilitating team building through a variety of outreach activities between now and end of January. So we have already launched MBZIRC Community. So for those of you who might be hesitating to enter this competition, as you might not have all the skill sets required to take part in this competition, we are facilitating teaming activity through our community. So everybody who has successfully registered, so once you register, you receive an email to verify, and once you verify your registration is successfully complete. And once you complete your registration, you're going to get an invitation to be part of MBZIRC community. Please take this chance, enter the community, and if you think you don't have enough, you don't have all the skill sets necessary to take part in this competition, you might find somebody to collaborate with and complete your team. So please use this community, and just take care not to reveal any proprietary information. The community should be used mainly for two activities. The first one is teaming activity. Get in touch with people who might have the skill set that can complement your skill set, or that can fill a void in your skill set to be able to compete in this challenge. And any detailed conversation, please take it off the community and have a private conversation. The other activity that you can do on the community is ask the questions to organizers. So for us to update FAQs on our website takes a little bit longer time. It would be far easier and faster for us to answer your questions when you ask these questions to us in the community. There is a section called as Ask the Organizers. Please post your questions there, and we'll try and get back to you as soon as possible. However, before you post any questions, please take a look at our FAQ. And if the answer is satisfactory, then the problem is solved. And if the FAQ answer does not answer your question to the extent you would like, please reform the question and then post it on our MBZIRC community, or you can even send us an email to talk to us at mbzrc.com. So, are you ready for the challenge? Please register. The registrations are now open. I apologize for the wrong for the date that has not been updated. The white paper submission is extended till 31st January 2022. Now it's time for Q&A. Tom?
Okay, thank you, everyone. Appreciate a few questions coming in here. So to kick off, Veena, can you please clarify, what if two target vessels are found in the same time, or in almost the same time, which get priority?
The team gets to decide. So let's say we have given them the intelligence of two target vessels, and they find both of them at exactly the same time. So it is up to the team which target vessel they would want to check with the operator for confirmation.
Great. Another one on the target vessels is, are they going to be dynamic or static? And a kind of just to build on that one a little bit, how will their speed change, if at all? Is it rapid? Is it smooth? Will the vessels stop sometimes? So
the idea is that these target vessels behave exactly like the way bad actors will behave. So they will be dynamic for sure. If their speed will change or not, I mean, it's hard to tell. So it might not. So there is a possibility that the UAV swarms will have to follow the target vessel to continuously stream the video. Oh, but during the intervention task, once the target vessel is identified, I think we will stop the vessel. It will be stationary once it is identified and confirmed that it is the target vessel. We will make sure of that.
Okay, and another one just on the USVs and the packages. Can we drop the package despite placing it on our USV?
Yeah, so as long as this package does not fall into the water, yeah, it has to land on the USV deck. So how you place it, by dropping it or by some other means, is completely up to you. So I think it should be okay to drop it as long as it stays on the USV deck.
Great. Another one, just asking for confirmation on the deadline extension.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so white paper deadline is now 31st January 2022.
Just to add to that, it's 6 p.m. Gulf Standard Time, however that translates, wherever you're based in the world, just for those who maybe up up against it and making last minute edits before submitting. Questions coming in, so thank you. Please do keep them coming. Do we need to manage the UAV charging while doing the mission, like switching between non-charged and fully charged and charging using on non-charging pod?
If it is necessary for the type of UAVs you're using, I'm just giving an example. Let's say your UAVs can be airborne only for 10 minutes. Yeah. If you can accomplish the mission within 10 minutes, then you might not need to charge the UAVs. But if you need, let's say, 50 full minutes to accomplish the task, of course, one UAV will not be able to be airborne for the entire duration. So you might either charge this UAV or have sufficient backup UAVs that can take over the task. And it is allowed to mount a charging station for the UAVs on the USV. So how you're going to ration your UAVs for accomplishing this task, or how you're going to use the battery power and the facility to be able to recharge them is up to you.
Great. Next one on navigation. Can we navigate in relation to the coastline as a global reference or orientation?
Yeah, you can choose whatever technique works for you.
Next one is, can we use GSM? If not, what are the license requirements in terms of radio communication and those requirements compatible with UAE, or are we going to be going out of the water that belongs to the UAE? So are there different kind of permutations on the radio communication?
Okay, so as long as the signals that you use do not form part of the GNSS, you can use whatever you like. And as of now, the Telecommunications and Digital Government Authority is the regulatory responsible for management of the radio spectrum in UAE. So tdra.gov.ae is where you can find the information with respect to the restrictions in UAE. We are trying to put this up in an FAQ on our website. It should be there in the next couple of days. So what I would recommend for white paper is go ahead and make an educated assumption and provide a possibility for you to be able to change these, change the frequencies or change the power limits of the signals that are part of your design at a later point in time in a way that they're compliant to the local regulations.
Okay, next one is, can we attach the vessel or the USV to the target vessel for stability purposes during arm manipulation?
Absolutely.
What criteria is going to be used for judging the white paper?
So we have provided the judging criteria for white paper on our website in the white paper submission requirement. I'm just going to read it out from there. So there are two main set of information that are asked for in white paper. The first one is the team information. We want to have the team name, team member's name, main point of contact, the roster, previous technical challenge competition experience, description of their technical capabilities that encompass various aspects of this challenge, any technical awards, patents, publications, and if they have done similar work, links to a video where they have which can demonstrate their capabilities in this space. So that is one part, that's the team information. The second part is the technical approach. So the technical approach encompasses the technical approach to solving the inspection and intervention tasks in GNSS denied environment, which includes description of UAV capabilities and sensors, description of autonomous multi-UAV interaction and coordination methods for search, identification, and localization, description of communication and video streaming methodology between UAV plus USV system, approach to mounting and controlling the robotic arm on the USV for the marine environment, description of physical interaction and motion coordination between UAVs, USV, and the robotic arm, description of any simulation methodologies used for proof of concept. Apart from that, we want to know the uniqueness of approach and its contribution to the advancement of the state of the art in autonomous robotics, risks and mitigation, safety considerations to ensure UAV returns to the base on command, expected commercial and societal impact and applications of the technical solution, and if you have any additional technical details. So the team information is going to carry 40% weightage and the technical information is going to carry 60% weightage. So this is the requirement of the white paper submission, and this is how the white papers will be judged.
Great. Next one is, can we get an approximate size of the vessels? Is there a range, maximum, minimum?
Okay, so I'm guessing the target vessels are the vessels that will be searched in this area. So one thing I can say for sure is the USV that we are providing is about 3 meter by 5 meter. And the target vessels are not going to be huge barges or huge ships. They might have a length of about 10 to 20 meters and a width of about 5 to 8 meters. So look for vessels where possible smugglers, pirates, and illegal fishermen use.
Okay, next one is on the reference object and when will it be delivered in terms of the simulation and the final event?
I didn't understand the question.
I think when will the teams find out what the reference object is?
The objects that need to be picked up from the target vessel.
Yeah.
Okay. So as of now, you can just assume that there are just 2 objects on the target vessel. One is a small object for intervention and another one is a larger object for intervention. So you will clearly see that there are 2 objects that are placed, and we will provide some sort of a clue in our intelligence report, either the color of the object or the shape of the object, how it looks like. So yeah.
Couple more questions on the intelligence report. Will it only contain a 2D model of the target vessels, or will teams be given more views of the vessel?
So for the white paper phase, yeah, this is all the information that is available. Imagine an information report that contains pictures of a target vessel taken from various angles that are incomplete. Yeah, let's say there is a layman who has seen a suspicious vessel and taken a picture from his mobile phone, which might not have the best camera, and there are only partial bits and pieces of that vessel from various angles. And this will form part of the intelligence report. And for the white paper phase, this is all the input that there's going to be: pictures, images, colored images taken from a distance of the target vessel from maybe various angles, and none of the images are really complete.
Okay. What is the 3D model format we need to send to the committee?
Well, as of now, there is no restriction for the white paper phase. Just pick a format that works best for you. And if at all there is going to be any restriction on it for the simulation or demonstration phase, we will announce it at the beginning of those phases.
Okay, next one is, can the battery be changed manually?
Battery of USV, UAV?
It doesn't clarify. So if the person that submitted this question would mind just clarifying which battery they're talking about, that'd be appreciated.
Okay, I think I understand the question. So there will be absolutely no human intervention throughout the demonstration task. So once the system is launched from the start gate, either they complete the activity or they return back without completing the activity. There is going to be absolutely no human intervention from the team's side. Not allowed.
Next one is, can we clarify the length and width of the area in which the demonstration phase will take place? They qualify that they're aware that it's 10 square kilometers, but what's the height and width of that?
So we are deliberately not specifying the length and width of this area. So it's going to be 10 square kilometers. It could be 3 by 3.5 or 2 by 5 or 1 by 10 kilometers. So no matter what the dimension is, as long as the area is 10 square kilometers, the solution should work.
Okay. One is, can the object be pulled instead of carrying it?
Sorry, the small object, is it?
He doesn't clarify, but I think.
Yeah. Okay, so the small object, it has to be lifted in order to be taken out of the target vessel and placed on the USV. If you can accomplish it by pulling it, yeah, give it a shot. But the larger object can be pulled. Yeah, I mean, if all you want to do is move it from one part of the vessel to the other part, you can just drag it from one position to the other position, provided it's feasible. It should be okay. The whole idea is to move it from point A to point B, and point B being more convenient for the robotic arm to pick it up.
Okay. To what extent is the target vessel different from the other vessels? Can we have an image of the other vessels for comparison?
No, you will only get the images of the target vessel.
Okay. Are the teams allowed to build base stations on the coast?
No.
We've already clarified a couple of these ones.
So the teams that come for final demonstration, we are going to give you a place where you can work on your equipment, and this is not going to be at the demonstration area. So we are going to provide you like a small working place where you can work with your equipment. We are going to provide you a place where you can sit and write your code or perfect your code and test out your equipment. And we will provide you a testing area where you can actually, which will be similar to the final demonstration area, where you can go and test out your solution and the accuracy of your design and algorithms. But the final demonstration area will not have any possibility for you to set up any base station. But there will be a base station for the from the organizers. Yeah, you can send the video feed to this base station that will then be relayed over to the operator sitting in the command center. But that is mostly for the organizing committee, not for the teams.
Okay. Is the object going to be magnetic?
If the object is going to be magnetic, we don't know yet. So the object could be made of wood, a wooden box, or it could be a metal box. So Tom, if you're okay, let me just take the Q&As. Yeah, I'll just continue with the Q&As. I will read the questions myself. Is that okay?
Perfect.
Okay, so tell me where you left off, which question? Okay, name of the person?
Zilang Wu.
Let me find this person.
Halfway down.
Okay, okay, got it. So I'll take it from here. Thank you, Tom.
Thank you.
Okay. So the next question is, when will the simulation be approximately available? So the white paper submission deadline has been extended to 31st January 2020. The white paper judging will take about a month's time. And as of now, the simulation phase will begin on 1st of March 2022. And the simulation environment is going to be available on the day the simulation phase starts. And we will provide all the associated details on that day, because simulation environment needs to be used by the participants that are selected to proceed to the simulation. And only these participants will be given the information. The next question is by Abdul Rahman Al-Kholi. Are you going to provide a data for the target vessels, and what is the type of data? Is it photos or 3D model? I think I answered that question already. So the intelligence report, as of now for the white paper phase, it is going to be pictures that is a little bit blurred out, not complete, taken from various angles, but that is still sufficient enough for you to put together and identify the target vessel. Next question, can space boundary landmarks be used for localization? Well, as long as you're not using any GNSS signal and extra system communication, how you use the demonstration area to for the purposes of localization is up to you. So that is absolutely okay, I'm guessing. Next question, will the ships have any special features? Well, if the ships have any special features, it is going to be provided in your intelligence report. So the whole idea is that you have to look at the intelligence report, scan the intelligence report, feed it into your UAV plus USV system, that these are the characteristics of a vessel that we are looking at, and identify a vessel that matches those characteristics. So if a target vessel has any special features, it's going to be part of the intelligence report. So the whole idea is to match the intelligence report to the target vessel. Can anyone be on our USV? No, nobody can be on the USV. It has to operate autonomously. What's the typical height or wave in the area? So I'd like to apologize. There were a few questions asking about the sea state. I was not aware of the terminology, and I did some self-educating. So the sea state in which this the demonstration is going to take place is going to be 0 to 3, both inclusive. So the equipment has to work in this sea state. That is for the white paper. So if there is going to be any change in the sea state for the future phases, we will announce it at the beginning of those phases. But for the white paper phase, assume a sea state of 0 to 3. In case of problems with the drone, how can we keep it safe without GPS to not destroy the drone? This is also part of the white paper submission details that we are looking at, how you're going to ensure the safety of your equipment yourselves. Yeah, it should be, there should be a mechanism for you to be able to keep your equipment safe. And if for some reason it's not able to function anymore, it should at least be able to return to the land and stay at the start gate or land on the USV and just sit there without just dropping off in water. Well, worst case, if the UAVs drop off in water, we will try our best to go back and rescue it. But if it's going to be functional after that, I really don't know. The next question, are the size and shape of objects known in advance? Yes, so the intelligence report is going to provide some hints about the small and the large object that need to be picked up from the target vessel. Yeah, so that should be sufficient for the white paper phase. What in the event of loss of drones activated GPS hot swap or muffling the signal during the challenge? Muffling the signal during the challenge and muffling at the moment of danger when the drone may be destroyed. I'm really sorry, I'm not able to understand this question. If you can be so kind, could you please reword this for me to understand? So I think this has something to do with lots of drones because of not being able to access the GPS signal. The whole idea is to be able to navigate in a GNSS denied environment. So just reword this question so that I can understand it. Next question. Can the drones go back manually or can they have a safe emergency home point saved? I don't understand this question as well. Can the drones go back manually or can they have a safe emergency home point saved? So this is a very good question. You're making me think now. So the drones can always use the USV as their home base if in case they need to land and then stay for emergency. But if you choose to, you can always return to the start gate. Start gate is going to be at the intersection of the land and the sea. So you can also return the UAVs to the start gate in case of emergency. Next question, do we need to consider hazardous conditions like non-expected weather and related matters? Well, we are trying our best to conduct the final demonstration in a good weather condition without too many weather-related challenges, but we are in the Middle East, so I think you should take into account that there could be some winds and some sandstorms that could impair the vision to some extent. But we are trying to conduct the challenge in as good a weather as possible, so there's going to be enough visibility, and the sea state is not going to be too rough. It's 0 to 3. Next question, what about the reference object? When will it be delivered in terms of simulation and final event? 1 hour before starting, 1 week before starting, I mean the target vessel. Okay, this is a good question. So for the white paper phase, you can assume that the intelligence report is provided to you 2 hours before the starting. So you should have made already accommodations about feeding the intelligence. So the exact format of intelligence report will be provided to you in the later phases. So you can prepare your algorithms to accept information in this particular format. But for white paper phase, it's just going to be a bunch of pictures, and just assume that this information is available to you 2 hours before the start. Next question. Is there a fuel restriction on the USV? This is a good question. So I will have to do some due diligence and get back to you on this question. So we are going to answer this question in our FAQ. I don't have sufficient information to answer this accurately. So my apologies that I cannot answer it right now, but we will include this in our FAQ. I'm just making a note of this. The next question is, what is the exact meaning of GNSS denied? Is the UAV not able to receive the information of location and velocity at all? So GNSS, the entire system has to be built in a way that it can operate in a GNSS denied environment. So we want to make sure that the equipment that you're using in this challenge do not use any of the GNSS signals. We are going to inspect each of the equipment that you're going to use in the final demonstration to make sure that you don't have any of the receivers that will be using the GNSS signal. If the environment itself will not have any GNSS signal available, that is going to be provided to you at a later point in time. So as of now, for white paper, assume that the GNSS signal is not available, and you should ideally not use any receivers of GNSS signal or use this GNSS data for computing the location or localization of your devices. Next question. What is the range of speed of the moving vessels in the stage of inspection? Well, I think I will have to come back to you again on this one. I think I'm going to answer this question also in our FAQ. The range of speed of various vessels. So okay, yeah, this will be answered in our FAQ, because I don't want to reveal too much information about target vessels and other vessels that will be in the demonstration area. So ideally, you should be able to, you should be able to find the target vessel irrespective of their speed. I mean, but I will. But this question will be answered in the FAQ. Next question: how you will mark the border of the searching area? Well, we could be marking the border of the search area in various ways. One of the ways is from the starting point, we provide you, this is the length and breadth, or this is the shape of the demonstration area, and try and stay within this area. If in case we come up with another method, we will let you know. So as of now, make an assumption for white paper, make an assumption of a demonstration area that has 10 square kilometer. Ideally, try and make sure that your design works for various lengths and breadths of 10 square kilometers. And that should be a good point to start with for white paper. Can we still grab the big cargo with UAVs? So for the bigger object, it is necessary that multiple UAVs collaborate with each other, attach themselves to this big object and move it from one point of the vessel to another point that is more convenient for the robotic arm to pick up. However, the picking up of the bigger object and placing it on the USV deck has to be done by the robotic manipulation arm. So this is a must. So UAVs themselves cannot pick up the bigger object and put it on the USV. That's not allowed. It has to be picked up by the robotic manipulation arm. Big object is, yes, it is up to 10 kilograms. Next question. Are you open to any communication protocol or there is restriction in it? I think this question is very open. So as long as it is an intra-system communication and it abides by the outlines or guidelines provided by the regulatory authorities, it should be okay. Next question. How far is the task area to the coast? So the start gate is going to be at the intersection of land and sea at the coast. So USV is going to be in the water and the UAVs are going to be on the land, and they will all be launched together. Yeah, you can choose to put some of your UAVs either on the USV or they can all be on the land at the start gate, and they will be launched from the intersection of land and sea at the coast. Next question. Are we provided with prior knowledge about the number of vessels and their average speed? Well, we will only provide an identification of the target vessel. We will not provide any details about the other vessels in the water as part of the intelligence report. At least for the white paper phase, this is all you have. Next question. Do you think judging is based on time only is fair? How about the stability and smoothness? Well, the white paper phase and the simulation phase have a bit more elaborate judging. So you can provide sufficient information about your design in the white paper phase, and you can provide a proof of concept in simulation phase. So that is where we have a judging panel that is going to see various aspects of your design. But the final demonstration itself is time-based. So all the various aspects of your design have to be provided in the first two phases. Based on that, we will pick the teams that will proceed to the final demonstration. And if it is fair, well, I think it's going to be, well, I think it's fair. This is the judging criteria. So we want to pick a team that can accomplish the entire activity in the shortest amount of time. And another important information. So the final demonstration will be held multiple times for each team, just to ensure that the luck factor does not play a role in it. So each team will be provided 3 attempts at various times, and we take, and then we are going to figure out a way to take either the best of 3 or an average of the 3 attempts. So this will be again finalized before the beginning of demonstration phase. Will the team lose any point if any UAV is damaged or lost, or make the object damaged but still handle the task to move it to the USV? So if your equipment is damaged, there will not be any penalties. Yeah. So please don't try and destroy the USV, because you will have to return it back to us. So try and do your best not to destroy any equipment. Next question. is the relative position of the start gate in the area provided? Yes, so this, exactly. So this is a good question. Yes, the perimeter of the area where the demonstration will happen for the white paper phase can be assumed to be taken with respect to the start gate. Can we put our own markers on the coast for visualization? No, you will not be allowed to put any markers on the demonstration area. So we have run through all the questions. I'm just checking the chat window if anybody has put any more questions in there. So there is a question that says, can a package be pulled by a hook instead of carrying it? So I'm not very sure if you're referring to the small object or the large object. So you can either carry it or pull it. The goal is to get the objects from the target vessel to the deck of the USV without dropping them in the water. And of course, ideally not damaging them too. Well, we are done with all the questions for today. A few more questions have come up. So I'm going to take questions for another 5 more minutes and then we're going to end this webinar. Can we put our own markers? Okay, this question is done. Is there a limit of load on USV? Yes, so this is again provided in the white paper equipment details. So the dry weight of the USV is about 500 kilograms. And on top of this, the available load capacity is about 500 kilograms. So you can put a payload of up to 500 kilograms on the USV. Great. So I think we're through with all the questions. I would like to thank everyone who has attended today's webinar and asked all these excellent questions. We have tried to answer as many questions as possible during the webinar itself. I have taken note of some of the questions for which we were not able to provide answers to. We will update them on our FAQ. As I just mentioned, updating on FAQ is going to take some time. So please do join the MBZIRC community and post your questions there. The turnaround time is a little bit faster. And looking forward to your attendance in the next webinar and looking forward to your participation. All the best. See you. Have a great day. Bye.